If you've ever read the book Atomic Habits, one of the things that they talk about in this book is habit stacking. And a habit stack, you could say, that I have is the reason I've become so impatient with for sale by owners is because I have discovered a new way of getting business that is so much better. And we really are not doing any sort of like paid leads, paid advertisement. It is all free. Those are all things that I can say with certainty work. And if you start implementing all of those on a consistent basis, you will get business like this. It has been a couple months now that my family has been back in the States after putting a huge pause on our business and basically just leaving the country entirely, living in Mexico and doing missions work, which honestly, that has been my very favorite thing my family has ever done, and we already miss it so much. However, that's not what this video is about. So when we returned home, though, from this very long pause, something we've never done, I mean, this real estate business has been my business my entire adult life. I've never lived my adult life without it, and we've never taken that much time off, especially like completely on pause. When we returned home, we wasted zero time and we immediately got right back to business. And one of the first videos that I actually made on this channel after arriving back home was a video sharing a business plan that I had made while we were in Mexico, just all these ideas and things. I just felt like these are going to be our systems that we're going to implement when we get home. These are the things we're going to be doing on a consistent daily, weekly basis to go and get leads for our real estate business. I shared with you guys in that video my entire plan of basically what we were going to start doing right away to start getting business again. Because as you know, if you're a real estate agent, if you completely stop prospecting, marketing, all of those things, like your pipeline is going to be empty because this is a prospecting, lead generating business, and that is how you get business. So basically what I'm trying to say is we really turned everything off. As soon as we got home, we implemented this plan that I'd shared with you guys. And today, I thought it would be fun to do kind of a follow-up on that video, but really just like okay, it's been a couple months now of us consistently doing those things that I said we'd be doing in that video, which I'll share what they are. If you didn't watch the video, I'll share what they are in a second here. But it's been a couple months of us consistently implementing these marketing and prospecting and lead generating strategies. What are the results? Which ones are bringing us the most business, the most leads? Which ones have we stopped doing and decided, you know what, we thought that would be a good idea, but it's a waste of time? Basically just like a business update. By the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing with you what exactly is bringing us the very best business right now. So be sure to stay tuned until the very end. You are not going to want to miss anything in today's video. I talk to new agents on a pretty consistent basis just because of the brokerage that I'm with, something I just genuinely enjoy doing so much. Real Broker, if you're not familiar and you're curious, I have an entire playlist on my channel dedicated to Real Broker because if you didn't know, I am a fan. It has impacted my life in such a positive way. Switching to that brokerage is honestly the best thing I ever did for my real estate business. However, that's not what this video is about. But because of that brokerage that I'm with, I do have the opportunity to chat with, collaborate with, get to know and be in communication with agents all over the country, the US and Canada. And so my hope is that whether you're in that boat, you're a brand new agent just trying to figure out how to get your business going, what activities are the best use of your time because you want to get business right away, like the boat we were in just a couple months ago when we got home from Mexico. We said we want to get business right away. And so whether you're in that boat and you just want to know what's working to get right away business right now, or whether your business is a little bit more established, I hope that you can grab value from this video somehow, some way. I actually printed out, this is my agent newsletter from October. If you're not on my agent newsletter list yet, shoot me an email with the words email list and you'll be added right away. I send out an email once a month with just some encouragement / ideas, what's working for me, that type of thing for other real estate agents. So if you'd like to join, my email address is in the description. But I printed off October's email newsletter because I sent out a list in that newsletter to you guys. This was right when we got home. I sent out this list of what what are we going to do? What are we going to start doing to try to get business? So I'm going to run through these things and then we'll just chat about what are we still doing, what we stopped doing, what has brought us business from this list so you can start implementing these very things, these now proven strategies that have brought us business. So I know they will bring you business too. What things are working and what are maybe not the best use of time for us at least, and maybe for you too right now. This is in no particular order. However, I am going to share the most important one, the one that is bringing us the best and the most business and just the best business. I can't repeat that enough. At the very end. It's not actually what I hadn't necessarily anticipated, so stay tuned. By the way, I made myself a London fog, so if you haven't already, grab your beverage of choice and let's just get into the video and have a little real estate conversation. And if you've made it through this extremely long intro without clicking off, hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell because I come on here on a consistent basis chatting all things real estate and business related. Okay, so this first one is Facebook. Now, let me just get cozy real quick because I'm not really in that comfy of a sitting position. Okay, so my take on Facebook as a real estate agent might be a little different from what you've heard or maybe what your brokerage has taught you if you've been into some like more old school methods, if you know what I'm saying. So I have tried Facebook ads. I've tried using a Facebook business page, which I do have one, but that's not really where our business comes from. I just post on it just because. I have tried buying Facebook leads from various different companies that sell you Facebook leads, that type of thing. Okay, I have tried many different things like that. None of them really brought me great results. Honestly, I didn't get that great of a return. However, for $0 and 0 cents, I have been posting on my personal Facebook page. And this is a source of business for my husband and I because it, one, reminds the people that we know that are in our sphere of influence, that are just our Facebook friends, it reminds them, Mariah and Spencer, my husband and I are a real estate team, they are in the real estate business. Two, if you use it correctly, which I'll talk about this for just I won't go too into this, but just a hot second, so you know exactly how I'm using it and getting business from it, so you can immediately start implementing the same thing into your life schedule, all of the things. Also, it also shows that you are an expert. You know what you're doing if you're using it right. Which I'll talk about that in a hot second as well. It also helps people begin to feel like they know, like, and trust you, which is people work with people they know, like, and trust because you're showing up, you're posting things, not just business, which, guys, I have a hard time with that, but I do it a little bit. You don't have to share everything. I have content buckets, so I will share, about my family. I will share my cup of tea, a morning walk, like little, very light, nothing deep. I don't share a lot. There's a lot that I don't share. Like I really never share when I'm with friends, doing things fun like that. Like those are things I don't share, but I do share a lot about my family things my family's doing, like fun Christmas things my family's doing, for example, and then of course, real estate. Okay, so how does this give you social proof and what does that mean? Basically, what I do is if you've ever read the book Atomic Habits, one of the things that they talk about in this book is habit stacking. And a habit stack, you could say, that I have is, I didn't even realize honestly that this was habit stacking, but because I've done it for so long, but it is habit stacking if you think about it. So one of the things that I habit stack is yesterday. It was a Sunday. I had a beautiful day with my family. We went to church together. We went to Costco after church. I went on a long walk while my daughter took a nap, and then I left in the afternoon and I showed a house to some first-time buyer clients. And now I have it habit stacked in my brain to where anytime I'm going out and showing a property, going to a home inspection, honestly leaving the house and doing anything real estate related, which happens on a consistent basis, appointments, anything like that, it is habit stacked in my mind that I either leave a little bit early to do this, and it doesn't have to take more than a minute, or I sit in my car after the appointment and do this real I am in the habit of that is when I create my content. Is it amazing content? No, but it's consistently staying in front of people that I know, reminding them that I'm in real estate, but also giving them social proof. Because, and by social proof, I mean it's showing that I'm an active working real estate agent, because no one would want to work with you if they don't think that you're actually selling any houses or you know what you're doing. So in a way, it's like proof of success, like proof you should work with me. And let me just share an example of what this would look like, because it is so simple. It's not anything fabulous, great by any means. Yesterday, I took a picture of my my outfit, like from up above, and I was like walking in some leaves, and I didn't plan this or stage it. There were just some cute leaves where I was walking, and so I just took this quick picture of my shoes and the bottom part of my outfit or whatever, and I just posted something about how I love working with first-time buyers and I'm so excited to like show a house to them or whatever. And I posted that on Facebook as well as my stories, my Facebook feed, and then also my Instagram and Facebook stories, okay? So that's just a small example. That could look like a lot of different things because it is habit stacked. So when I'm already, dressed in a somewhat professional outfit, ready for the day, because there's a lot of days where you're working from home, or for me, I'm just like being a stay-at-home mom and I'm not working at all, and I don't wear it, and I'm wearing sweatpants, and like I don't want to post pictures like that on Facebook, for my business, you know what I mean? So just take an advantage while you're already out and about. Don't overthink it, just snap a quick picture and post. And then two, the other thing that this does, like I mentioned earlier, is that this gives you proof that you are an expert and you know what you're doing. Because oftentimes, say I'm showing that house to the buyers that I was showing last night. Say I'm showing them that house and they asked me a handful of questions. I will just take maybe all those questions or maybe just one. I will sit in my car afterwards and I will write in the notes in my phone, and I will just write out like a little post about like, 3 tips for first-time buyers, or like something my buyer asked me and then I'll answer it. And then I post that on Facebook with a photo whenever I feel like it, and the post is already made, you know what I mean? But because I'm sharing knowledge that's genuinely helpful to someone who would want to buy a house, especially like a first-time buyer, for example, people are going to see that and be like, oh, they're my local resource, they're my knowledge broker. So that's something that I do, and it doesn't take a lot of time at all, but because I have it habit stacked, meaning I'm in the habit of like, leaving to an appointment, that means I'm snapping a photo, that means I'm writing a quick post. I'm just so in the habit of doing it in that order at the same time that on those other days when I'm maybe not going on an appointment, I don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, what do I post or whatever. Like I already took care of it, you know what I mean? And it's happening on a consistent basis because we go on appointments on a consistent basis. Okay, I talked more about that than I wanted to. That is one area. It's definitely not the highest area, but it is one area that we've seen business come from since returning home and implementing that strategy. Like I said, it's only been a couple months. That's something I wouldn't expect to see fruit from it in a couple months, but we've obviously been on, we've been on Facebook and we've been realtors longer than that. But I would say that's probably more of a long-term strategy, but it will work. And another thing I will say about that is you really do have to be consistent, if anything, for yourself, because I know for me, the times when I've taken really long, like year-long breaks completely off of Facebook, like the entire year, didn't post about my business. And then when you try to get back, for one, I stopped getting business from it, like I was before, but then when I stopped posting, I stopped getting business from it. But then also, not only did I stop getting business from it, I stopped, it became really hard to post when I wanted to come back on, if that makes sense. So when you take these big breaks and you're not used to sharing your life, when you try to come back to do it, it's like, oh, this feels weird, or this feels awkward, or should I share this? But so you gotta just like force yourself, even though it feels weird at first, to post and open up. And you don't, again, it doesn't have to be anything deep. You don't have to share your whole life and everything you're eating for dinner and all the things. Like, just stick to your content buckets, what you feel comfortable with. Post some family photos, post your listing, post yourself going to an inspection, whatever. But just make sure you're doing it on a consistent basis, and then it gets easier and easier to do. Okay, this next way of getting business that I shared in the video that I made when we first got home, and I shared this plan with you guys, this is something I won't talk too long about because it's not something I'm doing myself. However, like I mentioned, my husband and I are a husband and wife real estate team. And my husband has been handling this area, which is expired listings. He wasn't really in a routine of calling them for our business before we left to Mexico. However, as soon as we got home, he decided he wanted to start making cold calls a part of his, at least, multiple times a week, sometimes every single weekday, in the morning, like first thing, for a few hours at a time, on a very consistent basis. And we have seen great results from that. We've had a good handful of listings that have come. And again, this is usually a lot of times this is a more long-term thing. It's only been a couple months, at least at the time of filming this. And we started seeing results from this actually pretty quickly. So I can't speak too much on it because I'm not the one personally calling them. He is the one handling that aspect of our business, but it is something that's working. And there are honestly so many videos on YouTube about expired listings if you want to learn more about, prospecting to them, scripts and all of that. But my biggest piece of advice, because I did used to do a lot of cold calling for my business when I was newer, is just start. Like, honestly, that's what he did. Like, he didn't have a plan, a script. He literally just started making the calls and then refine what you're going to say as you go. Just decide, like, I'm going to do it every weekday or at least, 3 times a week in the morning or whatever, regardless of if I feel like it or not, regardless of how I feel. And then just force yourself to do it, and then you'll get better over time and your conversion rate will go up over time, but you really just have to do it. For this next thing that I mentioned, this next piece of marketing prospecting that we're going to implement into our business, or that we have implemented, I'm just gonna kind of read off what I wrote in my newsletter about this, and then share how it's working and all of that. Okay, so your CRM system. Add every single potential lead of any kind that comes into your CRM system. We use Lofty, and I couldn't recommend it enough. By the way, if you're like, what's Lofty? Go to my channel. After this video, I have a couple videos about Lofty, and it is life-changing. You definitely want to know about it. Basically, every time we get somebody who we get their contact information, we set them up on a drip campaign, meaning this is something you can do through Lofty, but there's some pre-made templates. They're going to get a handful of touches depending on whether they're a buyer, a seller, or just a long-term random lead person of any kind, like geared toward their needs with like home buying tips, that type of thing. We've been really tapping into our CRM system and really taking advantage of all the really amazing things Lofty can help do for your business. We have received a couple of past client listings since doing this, which, like I said, it's only been a couple months since we've been back, but we've received a couple past client listings, and this is one of the only ways that we keep in touch with our past clients. I know that's not ideal. There are a few other things that we do, but it's not a lot. Like, we do not buy them pies. We don't do any big like Christmas pop buys. We could do a lot more, okay? But the CRM system is at least one way, and I know this is another thing my husband handles in our business. I call him the CRM guy because he handles, we have different aspects where different aspects I handle completely and he doesn't touch, and different aspects he handles completely and I don't touch. And this is one of the ones that, for the most part, he really handles completely, is the CRM system. But I know he's been doing a lot of work in the CRM system. He sent out a couple different emails to everyone in our CRM system, like past clients, sphere, random leads, asking if they want to know the updated value of their home or how much equity they have, which just is a great way to generate leads. So that is another thing we have implemented that has been working. Okay, this next one that I thought was going to work a lot better, and maybe I probably didn't give it enough time. I probably grew impatient. And the reason I thought it was going to work better than it did is because this is how I started my business. This is where 95+% of my entire business came from my first few years in the real estate industry, and that is for sale by owners. However, when I first got home, I was super excited to start calling them again, driving to them again, door knocking them again, and here's my experience. So I guess I got discouraged probably a little too early on, because a lot of them that I drove to, or actually all of the ones I drove to, they were vacant, so I couldn't meet anyone at the door. And then there's just such, like, I don't want to make excuses because I know FSBOs works. I know it's a great way to get business, but in my market, there are so few for sale by owners. Like, I wanted to look them up every week and call the new ones every week, and oftentimes there wouldn't even be new ones that week. And it wasn't, I don't know. If you've called for sale by owners for a long time, I'd love to hear your feedback on this in the comment section below, but I know it was not the same experience as calling for sale by owners was when I was a new agent back in 2015. It was so different. And again, I gave this up pretty quick. So I used to say, like, when I called for sale by owners, this is a long-term thing. There's FSBOs I call for 6 months straight, and then they finally call me and are like, hey, we're ready to list with you. So I totally know that a lot of this is my fault. I'm not blaming FSBOs. I'm not saying they don't work. I know they work. And that's kind of why I was so excited about them. But I think the biggest reason why I don't have, I guess you could say, the patience anymore to do all of the things, because when you work with FSBOs, you're not just calling them and then like that's it, or you get an appointment and then that's it. Like, there is a lot of tracking, follow-up, like organization, sending mail, like there is a lot that goes into it. And I think the reason I've become so impatient with for sale by owners is because I have discovered a new way of getting business that is so much better, and the clients are so much easier to work with than FSBOs, like night and day difference. And that leads me to this last one, which is video marketing. You guys already know, if you've watched my channel for a while, video marketing is honestly where our best clients are coming from right now. We've had a YouTube channel for the last few years now that has brought us consistent relocation buyer clients, basically buyers moving to our area from all over. We love it. I love it. If you want to learn more about how we get this business and exactly what we do, head over to my channel. I have an entire playlist dedicated to just like marketing or video marketing, that kind of thing. And I go really in depth over there. But honestly, a lot of the buyers that I've been working with lately have been from YouTube, the YouTube videos I make on my other channel that brings me the business. They've been not just relocation, like yes, we're still working with relocation, but there's also buyers that are now finally starting to come to us from that channel that are simply just people that already live where I live here in Oregon and want to buy a house. And so I get to work with them in person, because before, when they were relocation, it was all virtual showings, like only. So that's been really fun. And still, they're amazing clients, easy clients, because like I said, it's hard to go back once you get so used to those kind of clients. It is hard to go back to FSBOs, because I'm used to them coming to me, begging to work with me, being so excited to work with me because they've watched all my videos, they feel like they know me, they trust me and all of that. And so and then I try to go back to FSBOs who are, angry, sometimes not very kind, annoyed at realtors. Like you have to force them to try to work with you and be super annoying and persistent. Like, it's hard to go back to that, okay? I'm just gonna say it. But anyway, that's my favorite source right now, and that's what's been working for us. So that is it. That is all we are doing. We are spending $0 on, like, our marketing fund is $0. We really are not doing any sort of like paid leads, paid advertisement. It is all free. Those are all things that I can say with certainty work. And if you start implementing all of those on a consistent basis, you will get business. Like there is no way that you wouldn't. And I know that I hear a lot of things right now, like headlines and stuff saying things like, this is the worst real estate industry in like 30 years or whatever, like lowest amount of home sales in 30 years. It's harder for realtors right now than it's been in 30 years. But guys, I can say for sure, because I have a network of agents at the brokerage that I'm with, wonderful agents all over the country. And I see every time they get a closing, and there's closings happening all the time, all over the country, in every market. So we have no excuses. So to me, that's a motivation to be like, agents all over are killing it, new agents and old agents alike, in every market right now, even during the toughest time in history for realtors. So there's no excuse, you know what I mean? Like, someone out there is getting business, so I know I can too. So those are just some things that are tried and true. I tried them for you. Now you know what to do. There's no excuse. So if you have any real estate related questions or video suggestions, shoot me an email or comment below. If you grabbed value from this video, hit the thumbs up button. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because I come on here every week with new videos, and I'll see you guys next time.